Hi babies, welcome back to Monday's episode where we are going to be talking about different movements and different motions that you can use when riding your partner's face. Now last week we covered the different positions, all the way from being a top to being the bottom. And we also covered different ways to support the positions that you've chosen. Now today we are going to be covering the movements of being a top and being a bottom. And I've also added some filthy, dirty talk in to spice it up a little bit and get you to communicating. But first, I wanted to announce my first ever giveaway. And obviously it's because I want one of you guys to win one of my custom made After Sex merch hoodies. All you have to do is click the link below and enter in your email address. The winner will be announced on my IG on April 7th, the day before the launch date of April 8th. But if you don't have Instagram, don't worry, we will also email you. I'm so excited to give one of these away for free, so you definitely don't want to miss out. Smash that link below, add in your email address, and away we go. All right, guys, good luck. Now let's get started on what y'all actually came here for, and it's how to ride your partner's face. So first things first, let's cover the top, because the top has a lot of responsibility, or can have a lot of responsibility. So what exactly do you do? Do you just sit there? Do you just bounce up and down? Do you wiggle? Do you hump? What is happening? So I've made it easy for you guys, and I've broken it down into 5 simple movements that you can use, play with, and figure out what feels good for you. Now I will say, if you already know your body, you know how to hit your pleasure spots, you know what you like and what you desire, then you'll have a little bit of an advantage. But if not, no worries, I got you covered. So let's start off with movement number 1, and that is grinding. When we talk about grinding, we're talking about that back and forth pelvic motion, that anterior tilt and that posterior tilt. So this is going to be your partner on the bottom, and then this is your pelvis on the top. All you're going to do is rock your pelvis forward. This is where the pressure is the most heavy, and then alleviate that pressure with the back rock after. This is going to be the move, especially if you have a clitoris. So it's not so much just the motion of rocking back and forth. Like I said, it's usually when you're giving that anterior tilt of the pelvis, meaning clitoris is here and you're pushing into their face, and then alleviating that pressure with the rock back. The second one I want to cover is the circles. Now normally our circular motions are generated from our waist. We're going to take that motion and we're going to move it into our hips, drawing a big, small, whatever feels good to you, circular motion. This is going to be easiest when you are in the positioning when you are on your knees. Doing this with one leg up and one leg down is going to be a lot more difficult. So stick with the grinding for that position. Now with the drag being done, you want to be really mindful of your partner's nose, because it can be really sensitive and it's one of their only ways to grab air in this position. So lighten up the pressure. This is also one of the ways that you can hit all 3 pleasure spots: your clitoris, your vagina, and your anus, all in one movement. This is gonna be the partner's nose here, and then this is gonna be our vulva. So we're gonna be dragging it across their face, starting with our clitoris, moving to our vagina, and then all the way back through our anus. This can be done in any of the positions that we covered in my last video. I want you to be really mindful of the person that is below you. Check in with them. Ask them if they need a break, or if they just need a second to breathe, because juices will be flowing. The 4th one is called hovering. So this is a really good movement to tease your partner and enhance it with that dirty talk. You're just gonna be slightly above their face just so their tongue can reach you and their nose can touch you. This is something that I like to add into multiple different movements to kind of let your partner catch their breath and give you the ball back in your court. I want you to tease them like the goddess you are. I want you to look down at them when you're hovering above them. And I don't want to hear, oh, I'm not gonna look good from that angle, I'm gonna have all my chins exposed, la-di-da-di-da-da-da. Chances are your chins have been exposed in multiple different positions, and that is not at all what your partner is looking at. So don't worry about the angle of what your face is, because you're gonna be talking to them and seducing them. The last one I wanna cover for top positioning is going to be the wiggle, and it's exactly how it sounds. It's just like that wiggling motion, back and forth of the hips this way, up and down this way, just wiggle it out. So everything is going to be moving. This is a nice position where you don't have to worry so much about the pressure being given to your partner's face, because it tends to be more of a lighter intensity. So you're giving giving them that intensity, but without the weight of you sitting on their face. And this also gives you an opportunity to vibrate out that extra sexual energy and just explore and express yourself. Now, let's say you only feel comfortable with doing one of these movements. That's fine. You still have variation. You can play with the pressure, the speed, the rhythm, the stop and start of the tease, that build up. Ask them, do you want more? If you're open to it, play with that power dynamic just a little bit. Now let's dive into the bottom movements. Now it's not going to be coming from your body like it's going to be coming from the top. Pun. But when you're in bottom, you need to ask yourself, do I want weight on my face? Do I want to be used like an object? Am I okay with getting cum on my face, getting squirt on my face? Am I okay with being smothered? And make sure you communicate these things over to your partner before you get started. It's also a really good idea to have different cues to tell your partner to pull back. Some people like to do the tapping on the side of the hips. However, if you're already into that kinky stuff such as spanking, this is not a good call. Do something a little bit more straightforward because your mouth is going to be covered. So I suggest doing pinches because pinches are going to be a direct notification and a signal to your partner that you need some air and you need a break. So the first motion I want to talk about is the partner on the top can be still and the partner on the bottom can be moving. And when I say moving, I mean you're moving your mouth, your nose, getting everything involved. Or you can reverse it and the top person can be moving and the bottom person can be still. I definitely recommend dabbling in between these two and reversing roles a couple of times just to help both parties from getting tired out and exhausted. The second one I want to cover for being a bottom is you're going to get super tired out if all you're doing is using your tongue and your jaw. You have definitely felt it in oral before and it will not be the last time you have felt it. So when I say incorporate your neck, your head, your nose, your tongue, and your jaw, do so. Operate by flowing in between these things. And you can also signal to your partner to move back and forth for you while your tongue's just out, or you use your nose to stimulate the clitoris or the anus. Now, if you are a bottom that wants things to get a little bit drippy and messy, I highly suggest that you get your partner to be using a toy on their clitoris at the exact same time, giving them that dual stimulation that will amplify and take their O to the next level and lessen the job and the work on your part. Now, being a bottom, your role is to reassure the top. Give them some enthusiasm. Talk to them. I want to taste every piece of you. I love the way you smell. Your kitty is so beautiful. You look amazing up there. I love the way you ride me. Give them some sound, even if you're being a little bit suffocated. Because even though you might not be aroused with an erection, you still might be turned on. So this is a reassurance to let your partner that you're still enjoying what they're doing. Now that's a really good way for the bottom to incorporate some dirty talk. Now for the top, it gets a little bit more fun because your mouth is open and able to communicate a lot more. So if your partner's not talking and communicating to you and you want to check in on them, check in on them. Start that conversation. Tell me you love the way that I taste. I want you to touch yourself. Easy questions that have a yes or no answer. Do you like the way I'm riding you? Tell mommy you're enjoying yourself. Or when the top is doing that hovering motion, and this is your time to tease them. Tell me how bad you want me. No, that's not good enough. I want to know more. Do you want to see that kitty squirt? I want you to beg for it. That's not good enough. Beg more. Bring that spiciness, that power, that communication into the bedroom. It's going to amplify, and you will be amazed on how that feels to your ears and gets you even more turned on. All right, babies, that's all I have for you today. I hope those movements help spice up the face sitting positions that I did in my last week's episode, and I will see you guys on Thursday for a brand new episode on thrusting. Don't forget, hit that link below and enter in your email so that you get a chance to win that after sex hoodie for free. And like I said, you'll be notified on April 7th, the day before the launch. All right, babies, I'll see you Thursday.